Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I'm Grayson. This is Lau. And this is Concrete Yard. We're going to be concrete bike garage. We're going to be reading and playing a little bit of something, a variety of different poetry. There's no thematic connection whatsoever, and it's been sourced from a variety of different sources, so thank you. This first piece is called Chinatown by Derek Mahone, and it opens up with a line from a Chinese novel from the 3rd century. The wind of the common people whirls from lanes and alleys, poking the rubbish, stirring up the dust, and whips the pagodas of Confucius Square. Miguel 141, death is back, find the cure. A rackety sunset under a stormlit sky where we sit, uncool dad and laconic sun, amid the festival clatter of sun low-key, chewing on midnight mussels and sesame prawn, torn from the hairy darkness of the sea. A crackle of firecrackers all over the ward from the Chinese New Year, Gambino and Genovese having moved on. Where the broom fails to reach, said Mao, the dust won't clear of its own accord. But we like it here in the ethnocentric refuge, under the fairy lights of Brooklyn Bridge, where the quiet or chattering families sit at board. We're one of the quiet tables as we review your temporary job tonight's occasion. You're listening to Guns N' Roses, Simple Minds, U2, and reading Moby Dick, according to you. But I recognize your strategies of evasion, for I too was young and morose, or worse, sinister. In youth, a frightful little shit, to tell the truth, a rancorous paragon of bile and sloth in the days of nihilism and alienation, though house-trained by your mother later on. We are all lost boys, or so we like to imagine, each sprung like Gatsby from his own self-conception, whereas, of course, there's not much you can do about the odd parents who conceived of you, and being young, I remember it well, is tough. Will the last bus be gone, her light be on or off? I wouldn't do it again for all the tea in Taiwan. But now that you've reached the age of rock and soccer, and I, the age of serious medicine, let me, Polonius of the Twilight Zone, a pseudo-Dionysus whose outsown, offer you some belated functional succor. I need hardly speak to you in praise of women, since you grew up amongst them. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Shun the fortuitous rectitude of received opinion, newspeak and euphemism. Don't stick up for your rights or worry about your self-esteem. Contrive your own life and live it by your own lights, where such considerations don't apply. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy. Be skeptical but wholehearted, don't be shy. Avoid spirits and nicotine, read Stendhal on love. Trust your instincts, even the most fugitive, and welcome to La Condition Humaine. Cheer up, son, oh, and above all, disbelieve the cynic who tries to tell you how to behave, for, as Confucius said, fine words are seldom humane. This next work was presented to me by one of my favorite Irish customers while he was drinking Guinness at my bar. It's by W.B. Yeats, and it's about the loss of childhood and innocence, told through the metaphor of fairies luring away children, which is a common folklore myth. It's called The Stolen Child. Where dips the rocky highland of Sleuthwood in the lake, there lies a leafy island where flapping herons wake. The drowsy water rats there we've hid are fairy vats, full of berries and of the reddest stolen cherries. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Where the wave of moonlight glosses the dim gray sands with light, far off by the furthest rosses, we foot it all in the night, weaving olden dances, mingling hands and mingling glances, till the moon has taken flight. To and fro we leap and chase the frothy bubbles, while the world is full of troubles and anxious in its sleep. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Where the wandering water gushes from the hills above Glencar, in pools among the rushes that scarce could bathe a star, we seek for slumbering trout, and whispering in their ears, give them unquiet dreams, leaning softly out from ferns that drop their tears over the young streams. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Away with us he's going, with a solemn eye, till hear no more lowing of the calves on the warm hillside, or the kettle on the hob. Sing peace into his breast, or see the brown mice bob round and round the oatmeal chest. For he comes, the human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than he can understand. A lot of these poems, I just asked people that I like and had them all give me their like top 2 or top 3. A few of these are from my mom, and then one of these is from one of our roommates, Emily. This is the lyrics to a Nick Cave song. It's a kind of psychedelic love song that he wrote. It's quite beautiful. It's called The Palaces of Montezuma. Psychedelic invocations of Matahari at the station. I give to you a Java princess of Hindu birth, a woman of flesh, a child of the earth. I give to you the hanging gardens of Babylon, Miles Davis, the black unicorn. I give to you the palaces of Montezuma and the gardens of Akbar's tomb. I give to you the spider goddess and the needle boy, and the slave dwarves that they employ. I give to you a custard-colored super dream of Ally McGraw and Steve McQueen. I give to you. Come on, baby, let's get out of the cold, and gimme, gimme, gimme your precious love for me to hold. The Epic of Gilgamesh, a pretty little black A-line dress. I give to you the spinal cord of JFK, wrapped in Marilyn Monroe's negligee. I give to you, I want nothing in return, just the softest little breathless word I ask of you. A word contained in a grain of sand that can barely walk, can't even stand. I ask for you. Come on, baby, let's get out of the cold, and gimme, gimme, gimme your precious love for me to hold. Come on, baby, come out of the cold, and gimme, gimme, gimme your precious love for me to hold. Irish. A lot of these poems are either Irish or Irish influenced. I think they have a certain like rounded, gritty, like realism, like a tangibility to them. This poem is about a filling station, a petrol station, somewhere in Ireland, and you can almost like feel like the dirt and the grease that it describes. It's called the filling station. Oh, but it is dirty, this little filling station. Oil-soaked, oil-permeated to a disturbing, overall black translucency. Be careful with that match. Father wears a dirty, oil-soaked monkey suit that cuts him under the arms, and several quick and saucy and greasy sons assist him. It's a family filling station, all quite thoroughly dirty. Do they live in this station? It has a cement porch, behind the pumps, and on it, a set of crushed and grease-impregnated wickerwork. On the wicker sofa, a dirty dog, quite comfy. Some comic books provide the only note of color, of certain color. They lie upon a big, dim doily, draping a tabouret, part of the set, besides a big or sweet begonia. Why the extraneous plant? Why the tabouret? Why, oh why, the doily? Embroidered in daisy stitch with marguerites, I think, and heavy with gray crochet. Somebody embroidered the doily, somebody waters the plant, or oils it, maybe. Somebody arranges the rows of cans so they softly say, so, so, so. To high-strung automobiles, somebody loves us all. next one is something that I wrote a few months back, and then I wasn't sure if I liked it or not, and I went home a month or two ago, and when I was there, my mom, who was an English teacher, worked on it with me for a few weeks, so it's kind of a bit of a collaboration between the two of us. It's called Mycelium. There are a million tender stalks wrapped around my breastbone, knitting 200 bones that stretch out ivory ropes to grow the mycelium that scaffolds my soul. I am stitched together like a patchwork garden, a seam of snap peas, threads of yellow cucumber twined through pumpkin blossoms, and in my heart garden, watering my cacophony of vegetables, sits him and her and you. Clipping the leaves and tending the stubborn weed that sprouts up late at night. In a blink, racing up the green beans and snap peas on the trellis, and by morning, my tender blooms are smothered, taken by that pit in the night. Dried squash and brittle kale crumble off that trellis, so carefully constructed, from old stalks of bamboo and little pieces of string accrued over a pleasant life lived. But with the call of the blue jay and the break of dawn, we walk out of my eyes laced with vines. Taking a spade, we plunge wood, metal, and flesh into the dirt. And we pull the weeds, taking care to dig the roots. And we press seeds into soil, dampened by the dew that comes from a faded night. And blanketed in brisk, wise morning, we take fingers gilded in soil and nurture anew. Take a little moment to shout out Lau, who, if any of you don't know Lau, they will be the coolest person you've met this month or this year. We got really high a few months ago while Matas was DJing for us, and we were talking about how we need to have more poetry surrounding ourselves. And we talked about it a bit, and then mentioned it once or twice again, and then I kind of forgot about it for a bit. Until my girlfriend sent me the poster for this, which had my name on it, which is how I found out about 3 days ago that I was doing this today. So thank you, Lau, for just kind of sending it. I appreciate it. This next one is one of my favorite poems of all time. It's about childhood and like the ethereal feeling that comes from like a long summer evening when you're like a child on summer break. It's called Noon by Lewis Gluck. They're not grown up, more like a boy and girl, really. School's over. It's the best part of summer when it's still beginning. The sun's shining, but the heat isn't intense yet, and freedom hasn't gotten boring. So you can spend the whole day, all of it, wandering in the meadow. The meadow goes on indefinitely, and the village keeps getting more and more faint. It seems a strange position, being very young. They have this thing everyone wants and they don't want, but they want to keep it anyway. It's all they can trade on. When they're by themselves like this, these are the things they talk about. How time for them doesn't race. It's like the reel breaking at the movie theater. They stay anyway. Mainly, they just don't want to leave. But till the reel is fixed and the old one just gets popped back in, and all of a sudden, you're back to long ago in the movie. The hero hasn't even met the heroine. He's still at the factory. He hasn't begun to go bad. And she's wandering around the docks, already bad. But she never meant it to happen. She was good. Then it happened to her, like a bag pulled over her head. The sky is completely blue, so the grass is dry. They'll be able to sit with no trouble. They sit, they talk about everything, then they eat their picnic. They put the food on the blanket so it stays clean. They've always done it this way. They take the grass themselves. The rest, how two people can lie down on the blanket, they know about it, but they're not ready for it. They know people who've done it as a kind of game or trial, but then you say no, wrong time. I think I'll just keep being a child. But your body doesn't listen. It knows everything now. It says you're not a child. You haven't been a child for a long time. Their thinking is stay away from change, it's an avalanche, and the rocks sliding down the mountain, and the child standing underneath just gets killed. They sit in the best place, under the poplars, and they talk. It must be hours now. The sun's in a different place. About school, about people they both know, about being adult, about how you knew what your dreams were. They used to play games, but that stopped now. Too much touching. They only touch each other when they fold the blanket. They know this in each other. That's why it isn't talked about. Before they do anything like that, they'll need to know more. In fact, everything that can happen. Until then, they'll just watch and stay children. Today, she's folding the blanket alone to be safe, and he looks away. He pretends to be too lost in thought to help out. They know that at some point, you stop being children, and at that point, you become strangers. It seems unbearably lonely. When they get home to the village, it's nearly twilight. It's been a perfect day. They talk about this, about when they'll have a chance to have a picnic again. They walk through the summer dusk, not holding hands, but still telling each other everything. I've got two more for us tonight. The first one is another one by me. I wrote it when I went home back to America for the first time in a couple of years, and it's about the kind of the frustration of being from something that is so against everything that I believe in, mixed with like the pain of still having like an attachment to that. It's called The New American. It's Christmas, America, and the turbines take me west, over Sacrament hills, between the cowboy highways, from rising ocean to collapsing sea. Nike spurs rip me across the desert, mercury dripping down from the veins of Hollywood, draining the battery in the oldies radio. Gladly I hand my nickels over to the pioneers, the spacemen and the rock stars who flash synthetic onto my iris, reaching through my ears to pump my heart and curl my lips. I don't know how to adore you, America. I can't love your static or the 20,000 children in your jail. America, I'm crashing toward the coast with friends lost to the jingles. I love your color, I love your sound, I love your pizza delivery drivers, and I love your progress so much I could die. My best friend is from a kingdom. Isn't that silly, America? Born onto the edge of prosperity. He doesn't understand you, America. He reaches out and his fingers barely even graze our empire. America, please don't stop. I read these men. They resent your mettle, your resolve. They don't understand, but I do. Americana shivers in my chest, rockets in my veins, and vibrates in my sneakers. Don't stop, America. I understand. I welcome. I follow to salvation or desolation, whatever's cheapest. For our last little piece tonight, I'm reading out the lyrics to my favorite Bob Dylan song in honor of the performative mail contest that happened a few hours ago in Museum Line. It's the lyrics to When the Ship Comes In, off his second album. Oh, the time will come of when the winds will stop and the breeze will cease to be breathing. Like the stillness in the wind before the hurricane begins, the hour that the ship comes in. And the sea will split and the ships will hit, and the sands on the shoreline will be shaken. Then the tide will sound and the waves will pound, and the morning will be a breaking. The fishes will laugh as they swim out of the path, and the seagulls they'll be a-smiling. And the rocks on the sand will proudly stand, the hour that the ship comes in. And the words that are used for to get the ship confused will not be understood as they're spoken. For the chains of the sea will have busted in the night and be buried on the bottom of the ocean. The song will lift as the mainsail shifts and the boat drifts onto the shoreline. And the sun will respect every face on the deck the hour that the ship comes in. And the sands will roll out a carpet of gold for your weary toes to be a-touching. And the ship's wise men will remind you once again that the whole wide world is watching. Oh, the foes will rise with the sleep still in their eyes, and they'll jerk from their beds and think they're dreaming. But they'll pinch themselves and squeal, and they'll know that it's for real, the hour that the ship comes in. And they'll raise their hands, saying, we'll meet all of your demands, but we'll shout from the bow, your days are numbered. And like Pharaoh's tribe, they'll be drowned in the tide, and like Goliath, they'll be conquered. Thank you, everyone. Big thank you to Tina, rock and roll and sound check. And thank you all for coming.